have you.
Good morning. How are you today?
It was great to see you Friday night.
Beautiful fall day to be over here visiting you. I'm excited to be back with your team here and so forth, and we're following a very, very positive wind at our back for the Irish with the AerLingus and other things that were accomplished in the last week.
And you know what? I was here bright and early this morning to put that emblem up behind you so that everyone would know where we were on WHK, AM 1420. And for those of you that were, again, with us for the first time, we're part of a conglomerate of radio stations all over the country. I think we have 125 stations from California all the way to New York, and Cleveland is one of them. We have 5 stations here in Cleveland, operating right out of this facility right here. But anyway, getting back to this, I should stop bragging about our radio station and talk to you about the wonderful event we had Friday night. It's great to see everybody, and the mayor, there was a lot of important people there. You and I were not the 2 most important people there, I think. You know that? Would you say that?
Well, that's your opinion.
Okay, all right. Anyway, it was a great night, and the ambassador, the Irish new ambassador from Ireland, she's brand new. You know, I never got to meet her that night. Would you believe that?
She was terrific. The day started with the leadership of Team Neo and myself and Ambassador Nason's visit to the Irish Garden. We should talk about that. It was a beautiful day, and she was just spellbound at how it was amazing about it. The people were out walking back and forth, and it was like I hired or got 3 or 4 people to pretend that they just came to the garden.
You didn't do that, did you?
No, I did not do that. This is real, you know. But just having her there and into the community was very, very exciting. And when you think of the fact that she's only been in that spot in a mobile, you know, for just a couple months, to be in Cleveland, Ohio, at the Irish Garden is quite a successful effort on behalf of all of us.
You know, I think when you die and go to heaven, Ambassador Crawford, you're going to want that Irish Garden right up there with you, aren't you? You really love that place.
We love it.
You do.
You know, there's just not, you know, 12 years ago, it was, you know, broken down, beat up, and with the rest of the gardens, we led the way, and millions of dollars have been spent on it. If you haven't been to along Martin Luther King Drive, it used to be Liberty Boulevard, it's a fantastic spot, especially our fountain, our wonderful fountain that was copied, as you know, from St. Patrick's Cathedral. Well, 12 years ago, when I decided that we needed that here in Cleveland at the Irish Garden, it was there and it was up and bubbling.
Okay. The only thing you missed on it was you didn't put a helicopter pad in there for AerLingus to land their helicopter.
Well, the young lady here from today from AerLingus, it'll tell you, maybe we'll talk about a helicopter pad, but let's just first talk about, why don't you come up?
Good.
And
Paula, and this is Paula. Paula, I want you to pronounce your last name for me. Pull that microphone down there.
Good morning. My last name is Svadlena.
Svadlena, is that Hungarian or is it
It's
Ukrainian?
Czech.
Czech, yeah?
Yes.
Oh,
It means
okay.
dressmaker in Czech.
Okay. Czechoslovak.
Yeah. But obviously it's not my original name.
What was your original name?
Paula Curtin.
Oh, Curtin.
And I'm originally from Silvermines, Nina, County Tipperary.
Okay.
Very proudly.
We had a man here in Cleveland, Huey Curtin, that was here for, he was an iconic figure in the city of Cleveland for years and years, but I don't think he was from Tipperary. Huey Curtin passed away a few years ago. But anyway, let's go. You represent AerLingus.
Yes, I do.
And this huge announcement that came out just a few weeks ago at the press conference, I was there, and that's where I met you first. Talk to me about it.
It was a wonderful day. The Céad Míle Fáilte that we received in Cleveland was definitely extremely sincere and a very warm welcome. And I feel that the new flight really, it solidifies the progress that AerLingus is making. It will be our 15th gateway from North America into Ireland. And if you add our Manchester base, it would bring it to 18 gateways. I think it shows a big commitment and, you know, movement in the right direction as we recover. It's been a very tough past 2 years for an airline, and making the commitment and announcing a new gateway and a new destination for the Irish people to come to the US is definitely a step in the right direction.
You know what I see it as? I see it as years ago, I've been going to Ireland for years back and forth. I think I made over 50 trips since I came. And I used to say to the people in Ireland, why don't you come on over and visit Cleveland? Well, what's in Cleveland? Well, I said, we've got the greatest art museum in the world. We've got the greatest orchestra. We have university service. We have wonderful things here. But they all said to me, they said, look, we got to go to New York first. We got to stop here. We got to stop in Atlanta. We got to stop in Chicago. Now, I think we'd be able to say honestly to people, why don't you jump on a plane in Dublin and you'll be in Cleveland 7.5 hours later. I think that's a great thing.
Absolutely, yeah. And you're right. The city, I got a chance to walk around yesterday. The downtown is beautiful. It's right by the lake, the gardens. I walked by the theatre district last night. It's definitely it's a very well hidden gem. And I think, Gerry, you can get out and get the message for a lot of people in Ireland. And instead of you going back maybe to visit the relatives, maybe they can come over and visit you.
That's right. I'm hoping they have through the years, but I hope there's a lot more of it now. And we'll talk to John Hogan about this. John is the director of the airport, and he's with us in the studio. We're going to talk to him about how important this is just to the state of Ohio.
Absolutely.
John, you want to jump on that microphone there?
Sure. Good morning, Gerry.
How are you?
Thanks, Paula.
John, you heard us talking there about the advantages from an airport point of view. What would you say?
Well, we are delighted and honored to have AerLingus in Cleveland. It definitely is a great addition to our portfolio of airlines and destinations. When I joined the airport way back in 2015, I identified that there was a big gap between Cleveland and Europe. It was something that other similar-sized airports had, and this was one of our targets since 7 years ago. Actually, the ambassador was involved way back then as well, too. When
Now, is that, what, 7 years ago?
7 years ago, Ambassador, yeah.
Before we started this project?
That is correct. So we've been knocking on doors of European airlines ever since. And being of Irish ancestry, mother from Galway, this definitely was an honor. But we were knocking on the doors of all airlines going to Europe. And when this landed, we now have an airline that serves Europe, because we have 320 passengers a day that travel from Cleveland to Europe. And one of the other important aspects of the AerLingus is not only the Irish connection, but also the connection to dozens of connections beyond Dublin, all over Europe, that Clevelanders can take advantage of, both going and coming. So yeah, this is a major economic win for the airport, for the city of Cleveland. Once we brought AerLingus to the table, the ambassador was hitting it on the Ireland side, I was hitting it on the state side. We have to hand over the I guess the project to the greater Cleveland community. This is where Team NEO came into play, Jobs Ohio, Destination Cleveland, the Greater Cleveland Partnership, also Cuyahoga County, and the City of Cleveland as itself, beyond the airport. So it definitely was a team effort. It definitely brought the community together for this project to land it. No one could have done it by themselves, and this was definitely something that we can all celebrate. So we're delighted that AerLingus is here.
Gerry, I can't overstate the effort by so many to make this happen. Again, this is 7 years. We came up with that more than twice before and came close but did not get home. And the atmosphere, I think, in the community, downtown, Team NEO, two of us from the very beginning, it's remarkable that we're in the international airspace right now, Cleveland, Ohio, direct flights. You have to think of it as that. It's big. We're big. Cleveland is looked at differently, and they will when they have these direct flights. And AerLingus is a wonderful partner. They made the decision. We worked very hard on it. But right up down to the mayor and to
City Councilman
Griffin, who is, I think, the chair. Fantastic support. And we were in that room for a lot of reasons, but the reason that it was poked out at all of us was 7 years, mission accomplished. Now we have to go out and use the planes. Now let's get serious about this. We have to get on the phone, call AerLingus, book your flights. It's going to be a rush at this thing when it gets happening, and it's very important because it's a partnership now. They made the investment. They're coming here. They had other choices. We accepted it. We solicited it. Now we have to finish it. Travel to Ireland and back. Believe me, I travel a lot internationally. It's very easy. It's a wonderful trip. New planes. Let's do it.
Okay. I want to say hello here to Mark Owens from Midland. Mark is representing Team Neo here today, Mark, right?
Hey Gerry, how you doing?
Yeah, again, thank you for all the work you put into this. You were working with Mr. Crawford and AerLingus and the airport. But could you describe to me what Team Neo actually does?
Yeah, so we're Team Neo. We're the economic development agency for Northeast Ohio, so 18 counties of Northeast Ohio, all the way from Sandusky all the way to the Pennsylvania border down to Tuscarawas County. So we work very closely with our economic development partners in the Northeast Ohio region in terms of attracting new companies here, attracting jobs here, but also companies already in Northeast Ohio, making sure they have the resources and the talent to keep jobs here in Northeast Ohio. So we work really closely with Jobs Ohio. We're a network partner with them. So as John mentioned earlier, the whole AerLingus thing was, this is really, we see this as crucial for the economy of Northeast Ohio in terms of economic development. The impact of this over the next 3 years is probably rough to be approximately $85 million economic impact on the region in terms of job creation, job attraction, tourism.
85 million.
85 million, yeah, over 3 years is, tourists coming here, people coming to visit, but companies now have a gateway to Cleveland and beyond to look at perhaps for new locations, expansion plans, but also for companies here that are looking to expand their services to Europe and beyond. It now gives them that gateway for, sell services and sell their talent to other parts of Europe.
Yeah, there are a lot of companies here in Northern Ohio that have headquarters, financial headquarters in Dublin. I know that.
Yeah, we got, obviously, as part of this process, what we Team Neo did was, as Mr. Crawford alluded to, the collaboration on this effort. We've been trying this for years. We came close 3 years ago, but what was different this time, we had, Team Neo, Greater Cleveland Partnership, the airport, City Council, City Hall, Destination Cleveland, Greater Cleveland Partnership, and Cuyahoga County all together at the table. And as part of that, there's an aviation task force that Greater Cleveland Partnership runs. And it's representative of the business community, so the likes of Eaton, Steris, Lubrizol. We're all in those meetings as well to make sure that this makes sense to them. I know, a lot of people ask, why not London, why not Germany? This was the opportunity that existed, and they all understood this was an opportunity for them to connect to Europe. You can fly to Dublin now starting in May next year. You can be in London by lunchtime. You can be in Paris by lunchtime, so the gateway it provides is something different that we didn't have before. So
Yeah, a lot of people are comparing it to when Continental had the flight from London, and I took that flight from London to Cleveland. But of course, times are different. It was pre-Brexit. There was an awful times are completely different. I think we're in the right timing for it now. But I wanted to ask Paula, what's the indication so far of the interest in it? You must know by ticket sales.
Yes, ticket sales got off to a really good start, but we put in a fantastic sale price.
You sure did.
We sure did. Supply and demand, it did very well. But, always keep a lookout for sale fares. I would suggest going to aerlingus.com and clicking the at the very bottom, and we will alert you as to any sales. And you will be alerted, we have $100 off, $50 off. You can always book a ticket 320 days in advance. And you're right, I have to agree with Mark Owens that don't think of AerLingus as just your Irish airline. We go to many destinations in Europe. We even fly as far as Santorini, Greece, Izmir, Turkey. And the beautiful thing about AerLingus, we have two very, very important things. One, you can stop in one or both directions in Dublin free of charge. So you can incorporate Dublin with your UK or your EU vacation or business plans. And the second thing, and I think one of the most important, we have pre-clearance. You pre-clear all US Customs and Immigration in Dublin. You arrive back to Cleveland International Airport as a domestic passenger, and that just saves so much time. Everything you do it in Dublin before you board the flight.
Okay, Paul, I'm getting the signal. I gotta play this. Stand by.